My roommate invited me to her family dinner. Then told her parents, "This is my boyfriend." The moment she slipped her hand into mine in front of her parents, my entire world stopped. My heart pounded so loudly I could barely hear the cheerful chatter around the dinner table. Her mother smiled warmly, her father stood to shake my hand, and my roommate looked straight into my stunned eyes before saying the words that changed everything. "This is my boyfriend." I had never been so shocked in my life, and judging by the nervous tremble hiding behind her smile, neither had she. I had no idea why she had done it, but I could tell she was terrified. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the Kindness Project. Your support helps us bring more heartfelt stories that remind us how powerful compassion can be. It all began on a bright Saturday morning when I, Mason, was trying to enjoy a quiet weekend in the apartment I shared with my roommate, Rowan. We had lived together for almost a year after answering the same rental advertisement online. She was organized while I was forgetful. She loved cooking while I survived on frozen meals. Somehow our completely opposite personalities created an easy friendship built on trust, laughter, and small everyday acts of kindness. We never crossed the line into romance. At least, I believed we never had. That morning she surprised me by asking if I would come with her to her family's annual Sunday lunch in the countryside. She explained that her parents had been asking to meet the roommate she talked about so often. I hesitated because family gatherings always reminded me of what I no longer had. After losing both my parents years earlier, holidays and family meals became lonely reminders of empty chairs. Still, she insisted with such genuine warmth that I finally agreed, thinking it would simply be a pleasant afternoon outside the city. The drive was filled with sunshine, green fields, and comfortable silence. Rowan looked unusually anxious. She kept checking her phone and taking deep breaths whenever we stopped at traffic lights. I assumed she was simply nervous about introducing a roommate to protective parents. I never imagined there was something much bigger weighing on her heart. Her childhood home looked like something from an old photograph. Flowers lined the front porch, birds sang from the nearby trees, and the smell of fresh bread drifted through the open windows. It felt like stepping into the family life I had secretly missed for years. Her parents welcomed me with smiles so sincere that I immediately felt guilty for arriving empty-handed. Then everything changed. Just as we entered the dining room, Rowan wrapped her fingers around my hand and calmly introduced me as her boyfriend. Every thought disappeared from my mind. I wanted to correct the misunderstanding, but the fear hidden in her eyes stopped me. It wasn't the fear of getting caught in a lie. It was the fear of losing something precious. Lunch became one of the longest hours of my life. Her parents asked gentle questions about how we met, what I did for work, and whether I made their daughter happy. I answered carefully without inventing elaborate stories, choosing words that were honest enough to avoid betrayal while protecting whatever secret Rowan was desperately trying to hide. As the afternoon continued, I noticed something important. Every time her father mentioned a successful family friend or hinted about marriage, Rowan's smile faded for just a second. Every compliment directed toward me seemed to ease a burden she had been carrying for months. I realized this performance wasn't about embarrassing me. It was about protecting herself. Later that afternoon, while helping wash dishes, Rowan quietly explained everything. Her parents had spent years trying to arrange introductions with men she barely knew. After ending a painful relationship with someone who constantly manipulated her, she wasn't emotionally ready to date again. She had repeatedly told her parents she needed time, but they believed she was simply being stubborn. Desperate to stop the endless pressure, she had made a terrible decision on impulse the moment we walked through the front door. She apologized over and over, tears filling her eyes. She expected me to hate her, to walk out, or to expose the truth immediately. Instead, I saw someone overwhelmed by expectations, someone who had run out of answers. For the first time, I understood that kindness sometimes meant helping someone carry a burden they could no longer hold alone. The rest of the afternoon became strangely beautiful. We laughed over old family photographs, played with her little nieces in the garden, and shared homemade pie beneath the shade of an old oak tree. Watching her with the people she loved revealed a side of Rowan I had never seen inside our apartment. She wasn't pretending anymore. She was simply being herself, and I realized how remarkable she truly was. On the drive back home, neither of us spoke much. the silence wasn't awkward anymore. It felt meaningful. Somewhere between those country roads and the city skyline, something invisible shifted inside both of us. We had started the day as roommates pretending to be a couple. We ended it understanding each other more deeply than ever before. Over the following weeks, life slowly returned to normal, yet nothing felt the same. We cooked dinner together more often. We stayed up talking about childhood memories, dreams, disappointments, and fears. She encouraged me to reconnect with my younger sister after years of distance, while I reminded her that real love should never arrive through pressure or obligation. We unknowingly became the support system each of us had been missing. Months later, Rowan finally told her parents the truth. She expected anger and disappointment. Instead, they surprised both of us. Her father admitted he had been so focused on securing her future that he had forgotten to ask what truly made her happy. Her mother apologized for pushing too hard. Rather than feeling betrayed, they thanked me for treating their daughter with patience and respect during one of the hardest moments of her life. Life has a funny way of rewarding honesty that grows from compassion. Not long after that conversation, our friendship naturally transformed into something neither of us expected nor forced. There were no dramatic confessions, no grand gestures, only quiet moments that slowly revealed the love that had been growing between us all along. This time, when Rowan introduced me as her boyfriend, there were no lies behind her smile. If this story has touched your heart so far, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Kindness Project. Your support allows these stories of hope, healing, and second chances to reach more people who may need them today. Special request: before the story ends, tell us in the comments, have you ever helped someone by simply choosing kindness when it would have been easier to walk away? Looking back, I often think about that unexpected family dinner. I believed I was doing someone a favor by protecting a harmless secret. In reality, that single act of compassion gave two lonely people the courage to heal old wounds, rebuild broken relationships, and discover a love neither had been searching for. Sometimes life doesn't begin with a perfect romance. Sometimes it begins with an impossible moment, a frightened smile, and one unexpected sentence spoken across a dinner table. And sometimes, the greatest love stories are born not from perfect timing, but from ordinary kindness that quietly changes everything.